Nepal, an official Hindu state and the birthplace of the Buddha. Home to Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, a place of great mystery and beauty. A mystery that 4 Mississippi women set forth to experience in March 2001. There had been many women interested in the trip. We had commitments from as many as 6 people at times, but in the end, the group consisted of Molly, Nancy, Elizabeth, and me, Dawn. In our own journey of March Madness, we were the final 4.
And notice that they recommend
the day before we left, we all met at Elizabeth's for one final check of preparations. As Nancy made her final medical consultations with Bill Grant of Colorado, a regular traveler to Nepal, Molly, Elizabeth, and I were looking over the rupees that Molly had brought.
What have you got in your hand?
rupees.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm gonna buy those from you.
Yeah.
Rata rupees.
What do they look like?
They're pretty cool. They have Gandhi on them.
Oh, those are the Indian rupees.
Yeah.
Are there no? There's not Nepali rupees, just Indian rupees.
No.
Okay.
We discovered upon arrival in Nepal that there are Nepalese rupees, and that many Indian rupees are illegal in Nepal. But with Molly's sweet southern drawl, we had no problem finding someone to exchange our rupees in Kathmandu.
Rupees.
You got a whole year's salary in your hand right now for
I
a
have
native.
more than a year's salary in my hand. The average yearly salary is something like $150.
Oh, really?
This is $600 worth of rupees.
And so, on the Ides of March, the final 4 set out for the experience we had been planning for nearly 2 years. Elizabeth, the outdoor retail buyer and trip organizer. Nancy, the psychiatric nurse. Molly, the artist and professor. And me, Dawn, the one behind the camera. You figure it out. Our flight took us from Jackson, Mississippi, through Los Angeles, past the international date line, and to Bangkok, Thailand for the night before heading to Kathmandu. A flight time of over 15 hours. After a short sleep, we were back on the plane. For me, this was not only my first trip to Nepal, as it was for the others, but also my first trip out of the United States.
It's a beautiful entrance.
Leaving the airport alone was entrancing. We all rode in a state of awe at the sights and sounds that would soon become familiar to us. Upon arrival at our hotel, we chatted with our guide, Ong Fury Sherpa, about our upcoming adventures. We were all thrilled to learn that Fury's wife, Pasong, would be accompanying us on our trek. This would be her first trip home in over a decade.
4,000, okay. Because we come from 300 feet.
300? That is how many meters?
6? No.
Our first day in Kathmandu was March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. But we avoided the green beer and instead took our guide's son Geljan on a trekking skirt buying spree. With skirts in hand, we headed back to the hotel to rest for our city tour the next day. The next morning, Molly and Elizabeth rise to an awakening Kathmandu. They enjoyed the sounds of the city coming to life, mixed with the call of birds and the sight of the Himalayas barely visible through the morning haze. We spent our first full day exploring this strange city. We began with a visit to the Swambutnath Temple, often called the Monkey Temple because of its full-time residents. It is considered one of the most holy shrines in Nepal, and a walk up the stairs, reported to be 365 in all, will bring good luck for a year. Our next stop was to Bodhanath Temple, the oldest and largest Buddhist temple in Nepal and one of the oldest in the world. Bodhanath is the religious center of many of Nepal's Tibetan refugees and an important stop for centuries of Tibetan traders. Even today, people come here to pray for a safe journey through the Himalayas. Our final visit was to the Hindu shrine of Pashupatinath. This shrine is dedicated to Lord Shiva the Destroyer and is located on the Bagmati River, a tributary of the holy Ganges in India. Pashupatinath is where Hindus of the region bring their dead for cremation.
Okay, Molly, tell us how you feel.
Apprehensive, excited, surreal. Surreal.
Feel like
Giddy with anticipation.
And Elizabeth will just say,
This is what you paid for.
I'm excited,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm ready, but I don't know I'm prepared, but I don't know how ready I am. Does that
That's
make
a good,
sense?
yeah, that makes, well put.
On March 19th, we left Kathmandu for the Kumbh region of Nepal and our 14-day trek to the base camp of Mount Everest.
There's Molly rushing to the plane to get the left side.
Trying to get the left side.
I don't think that overhead matters today.
As we lifted off from the airport, we got a sense of just how large the Kathmandu Valley actually is. And obviously, this was a routine flight for our co-pilot. But Pasang didn't seem so comfortable or confident. We had a 45-minute flight east from Kathmandu, and then a 15-minute helicopter ride north to the village of Lukla, and the start of our trek.
Molly,
Yeah,
how was it?
it was exciting.
But you didn't want to go back and do it again? Not right away.
No, it was, well, we don't need to go to the fair. We've been there.
And to your first helicopter ride.
I cannot wait. So excited, but it's going to be hard to match anything quite as exciting as that Yeti landing.
Pretty packed in here, aren't we?
Sardines in a can.
As long as no one's claustrophobic. It's done.
Oh, I love this. Now this is travel. Oh, wow.
Our first stop on the trail brought us to Pasang's childhood home. We were honored to be invited in for a visit by Pasang's father, who was excited to show us pictures of his son studying in Colorado.
What?
Well, I want to say cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wait.
How do we say cheers in... She's...
Salud.
Salud.
Dinero, amor y tiempo para gastar.
All right.
Life is
you know,
very good.
Our porters set up our first camp in the village of God. This is where we learned that even on vacation, Elizabeth worked, trying to sell camping equipment to Ong Fury.
I'm sorry. I have to work. work. I needed to have put up these tents.
We spent the afternoon exploring our surroundings. God is the setting for some of the region's most beautiful and well-known prayer wheels and mani stones, both of which are inscribed with the Buddhist mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, meaning hail to the jewel in the lotus, and is said to bring good luck.
It looks like it's carved
But no
out.
amount of good luck would keep Elizabeth from getting sick with a stomach bug later this night or help Fury lower his fever.
They're carved out, they're not painted.
We continued on the next morning as scheduled, headed to Namche Bazaar, a trekking time of 6 to 7 hours and an elevation gain of over 2,500 feet.
You made it.
Just phew. Yeah. It was quite steep. I understand it's going to be steeper after this. And we have to remember that we just came from 365 feet.
Yeah, well, we didn't actually walk the whole way.
This is good. This will be some rest. Are you sore? Are you sore? Do your legs hurt? Good. That's what I want to hear.
Glad it's not just us.
Do you track often? 17-day track. What have you got?
Room keys?
Room keys?
Room keys. You don't need to pull out room keys, and we might be here 3 days.
With Elizabeth weak from the stomach bug and Fury with a high fever, we stayed in Manju for the night instead of continuing on to Namche.
I'm still in shock from that medieval shower I took down in the dungeon. But the toilet. It's hard to feel like he really got clean when the odor of bodily waste wafts over the shower. But at least the water was warm.
Manju was a swirl of activity in the morning. Trekkers from all over the world were preparing for the jaunt to Namche Bazaar.
Another one?
The trail to Namche provided us with our first view of Mount Everest.
Okay, we've gotten our first view of Everest. Lhotse is in the front. Everest is on the right with the wind blowing off. And we are only a quarter of the way up from where we're going.
Only a quarter of the way.
From where we've been to where we're going.
From
Monjo. Monju or Monjo?
And how much further is it today to Namche? 1.5 hours?
Oh.
We'll be there before noon.
Wow.
Much relief?
Yes, that is relief. Is this, how much more up?
Maybe zip job, maybe 20
30 minutes?
minutes go, then we go.
Ah, we can do that.
Oh, you have good
You have a
luck.
butterfly on you.
You have a butterfly on your head. That's good luck. All right.
Back it up.
With Namche Bazaar in view, we took a well-deserved rest.
That elliptical trainer wasn't anything. It was very small compared to this.
I will agree on that because that's what I trained on too. And I could do like 2 hours on there with no problem.
Yeah, elliptical trainer. You know, when I get back, I'm gonna have to stay at the gym like so much longer.
Well, didn't Mike just say that the mountain trains you?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that you cannot train for this.
Oh, I don't think you can.
I mean, I think it'd be stupid not to try and train for this. I think you'd be an idiot not to give it a shot.
I agree.
And, but
Just short of beefing up your normal exercise.
it just,
There's nothing else.
yeah, we beefed up our normal exercise.
Namche Bazaar, the major commerce city of the Kumba region, and the first stop for acclimating trekkers, would be our home for the next 2 nights.
Anytime you look,
During midday, Elizabeth and Nancy chatted with Fury about the practice of flying prayer flags.
you play.
Oh, so there's a certain time
certain day.
every year that you put up new prayer flags.
Okay.
Then we go like climbing the mountain with the skin. Then we take lama. Anytime.
Will we take some?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. We need some good
Yeah,
luck.
we need all the help we
luck.
can get.
The rest of the afternoon was spent doing what every woman would do, shopping, of course. And while Elizabeth and Molly haggled for a yak bell, the ever-present animal lover in Nancy could not ignore the baby yak. That night for dinner, we had an apple pie unlike any we had ever eaten.
Oh, it smells wonderful. Oh, it does. Isn't that nice? Just like apple pie.
While we slept, Fury's health took a turn for the worse. His fever was more serious than we had expected. And at around 8 a.m. on our 4th day in the Kumba region, our guide, Ong Fury Sherpa, was taken by foot on a stretcher to the nearest hospital an hour and a half away. Just before lunch, a couple of the porters that carried Fury to the hospital returned.
Are they worried? They're very worried. That makes things different. Yes. Okay. We will. 1 o'clock. We will call. We will call.
How do we know we're calling, does the doctor know we're calling at 1?
She's going to call.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this hospital is so small, Nancy,
That
that
it's
there's
not-
probably a doctor. And,
Okay.
and probably, if I had to guess, maybe 4 or 5 hospital beds at the most. I mean, that's just a guess.
Well, and I think that, you know, I mean, we do have a legitimate reason to call in terms of informing his
Well, I mean,
staff, as it
and there
were.
again, we have a bit of a language barrier, just making
Yeah.
sure that we understand what is, what sounded like dehydrated.
Doesn't-
Might not have been
Well,
dehydrated.
because it went from vomit to not vomit to vomit to not vomit, and I guess we, you know, for our sake, we need to know if we're got some risk for, you know, some catching something. You know, because we,
There are all kinds of things out there.
yeah, we've got to be careful. All right. Well, thank you for the information you can give us, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye bye. It's like she's not sure what's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, she can't say, but she implied that they did. That she did really know, and that one of the main reasons they would send her to Kathmandu is to do more kind of investigation.
Yeah.
So.
After the phone call, our host invited us into the family temple. Video can't do justice to the colors that surrounded us.
Every book represents one prayer.
Maybe there are 104 or 5.
Prayers. We're understanding. It's just taking a while.
It was a long day of wondering and waiting, but late in the afternoon, we learned that Fury had been airlifted to the hospital in Kathmandu. We woke to a bright, clear morning and the task of packing once again.
And Nancy, what is your motto for the whole trip?
Motto?
Yeah, I've found one for you.
You've got one for me? I'm waiting.
Nancy's motto is that you just cannot get organized in a duffel bag.
This is true.
At least I can't get organized.
With Fury at the hospital in Kathmandu, we will continue our trek with Mingmar Sherpa as our guide. We were on our way once again, down rocky slopes, past spectacular views of Mount Everest and Amadablam, to our lunch spot near the water-driven prayer wheels of Pukitong, or better known to us phonetically as Funky Tinga. After lunch, we were back on the busy trails. A few hours later, we entered the sacred grounds of Tingbache Monastery. Cameras are forbidden inside the monastery, so you will just have to experience it for yourself one day. We arrived at our camp late in the afternoon. The porters and cooks had been busy while we visited the monastery. And as the day grew late, the temperature seemed to be dropping quickly. While we slept, the temperature dropped even more. During the night, I had snuggled so far down into my sleeping bag that only my nose was exposed, and Nancy had to let me out.
Ah, it's cold. Put it in or out?
Just bring it in.
Yeah, like one of the 10 episodes. Oh.
Oh, you're shaking. Is it cold?
Yes. Thank you. Oh. Gloves.
I just don't know if one cup of tea is going to warm me up.
I don't think that's going to warm me up. I think sunshine and physical exertion is the only thing.
It is cold. Very, very cold.
I wonder what.
Nancy layered for the cold in the height of trekking fashion.
Green, pink, blue, whatever color this is. Mississippi State fans might like it. And we've got brown. None of that. Another layer of black.
Cute.
Straight from Milan.
Nancy, what do you call that? A Nepalese traffic jam?
Lucy's been calling it a traffic marmalade.
Today we visited the 600-year-old Pangbache Monastery, former home of the infamous Yeti skull.
The Yeti helped the Lama to achieve what and know what he needed to know.
Okay.
And to took care of him.
And when the Yeti died
And then the Yeti died. And the head came to live here.
at Pembrokeshire.
Yes. And then 10 years ago, somebody came and stole the Yeti head.
the masks are for the ceremony.
Yeah, or ceremony festival or Sherpa festival. 1 year, one time, it's like we say Dumji.
Doomsday.
Yes, Dumji.
No.
We had our lunch at Mimar's home. He was excited to see his daughter Tashi and at once brought her to be introduced.
Oh, hi. Hello. Hello, cutie.
The trek from Pangboche to Dingboche was hard. We were cold and tired, and Nancy had picked up a mild stomach bug somewhere along the way. But when we arrived, we were welcomed with the warmth of a dung fire.
I'm feeling better. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
This is the warmest I've been.
This is the warmest stove we've had.
Yes, this is the nicest spot we've had.
How high are we in feet?
13,935.
13,935.
Feet. Highest I've ever been.
To celebrate our achievement, Kaji, our cook, prepared us a special treat. As we left Dingboche, we were unaware of what day it was, but we did know that we were getting short on time. The day's trek took us across a barren plateau that left us exposed to the incoming weather. Nancy seemed to be doing okay, but something had hit me. Maybe it was the cold or the altitude, I'm not sure. But I was weak and having a tough time. Due to the inclement weather and our health, we stayed in Tukla for the night instead of heading on to Lobuche. A good night's rest at over 15,000 feet helped us feel better, but did not erase the fact that we had lost another half day.
People take a high altitude medicine. When they take medicine, take a medicine and go.
So, after a lot of struggle and hardships with health, weather, and altitude, we chose to head towards a new journey. A journey down the mountain to new places and new experiences.
It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yep, that's it.
Destination was way over there.
Yeah.
Point that way.
That was the destination somewhere up
Somewhere that looks horrible.
there. Is that Pariche?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yes, medicine.
Did this yak just die?
Yes,
He just
died.
died.
Died
Okay.
himself.
He died himself. That's good.
12 kilos.
Okay.
Where put this man?
Yeah.
Well, going down is a lot easier. I think that we would have done better had we had another acclimatization day in Dingboche,
Yeah.
as is recommended. I think we kind of pushed it. We had so
Well, we lost today.
we lost today, and we had illness and so many variables. But I think the scenery, other than seeing Everest, would have been that same kind of tundra. And I think I like the scenery down here better anyway. So yeah, I like it. I like descent.
We would spend the next 2 nights camping behind the Panorama Lodge in Pangboche, owned by Mingmar's in-laws.
She wants to walk so bad.
In the morning breakfast, after breakfast, we go climb up. Then we look in there from top to some mountain, and then come back again, break lunch, and then we make our shouting. Somebody will come to shout.
If it's warm.
Yeah. Ooh, wash our hair.
No, we give her hot water.
The next morning, As the shower tent was set up, Molly tended to her puffy eyes. The shower tent was the attraction on the trail and seemed to announce us as Americans, as we overheard one French trekker comment.
How you feel.
I feel so clean and so refreshed. We're being watched.
We are clean, though.
We're silly girls.
Clean Americans.
Clean American girls.
From the shower tent.
Following dinner, our guide and porters entertained us.
This is the latest we have stayed up.
What time is it?
I don't know.
I can tell you.
8:15.
8:15. The latest we stayed up. 8:15.
Before leaving Pangboche, Mingmar's mother-in-law insisted we come in for a cup of Sherpa tea. And we didn't want to get Mingmar in trouble with his in-laws, even if the tea was not quite what we had expected. The Buddhist Lama was here to pray for Tashi, who had also come down with a stomach bug.
It smells like something I've smelled before.
A friend of mine had me bring it because she wanted it placed somewhere in Nepal for her.
And what do you have, Nancy?
My sister sends a small rock full of fossils to place here, and a woman I know sent a sand dollar that managed to make the whole trip on the back of a zupkyu, without breaking. And so I'm placing these two things here.
Are you going to leave yours up here, Molly?
Yes.
If you give here, it's a good luck for this stupa temple, monastery like a
Good.
temple here.
Yeah. Good luck's good.
Okay. And you say your heart to good luck for
Say what's in
like
your heart.
My sister like you're not talking, but your heart
Okay.
is say.
Okay.
I could put this here too. I think this is a good place for this.
This one give here or
Yes.
give here?
Put a rock in it.
Yeah, maybe rock. कैसा दुईटा ढुङ्गा ल्याउ त? This plain one?
Yes.
New one. New one.
This is only new one.
If people use,
Yes.
that's we get bad. For,
This is
yeah,
new.
New one is okay.
Yes. This is a cremation.
Yeah, this is local people. Why people dead, then we bring here, and then all this culture like a Sherpa culture,
Yeah.
then we burning here.
And these are all memorials.
Yeah, it's all the moment.
To dead.
Yes, moment.
During lunch, we had a remarkable view of Amadablam and the coming afternoon weather. By the time we reached Fortsey, it was shrouded in a thick fog. During our short time in Fortsey, we had the chance to observe a rare Impian pheasant. This 9-colored fowl is the official bird of Nepal. Just as the weather changed on us every day, the trek from Fortsey to Namche was no different. What began as a clear, warm morning turned to clouds and freezing rain by mid-afternoon. Upon our arrival to Namche, we were greatly rewarded.
It's wonderful, it's warm, it's dry, and it's oh so comfortable.
And it looks just like yours.
Does it look just like yours?
Exactly.
And it has a real bathroom.
Oh, it has a toilet that flushes. It's beautiful out here this morning. And that sun feels so good. Exquisite. Exquisite, that's a good term.
We're about worn out beautiful. So.
And wonderful.
Yeah, and wonderful, I'm sorry.
Beautiful and wonderful are just about.
Exquisite we can handle.
We're
Exquisite.
gonna have to give Molly an adjective with us.
I know. Beautiful and wonderful are just,
Her two favorite words.
yeah, they are.
This was our final photo op and view of Mount Everest.
It's exquisite.
Hardly knew
Astonishing.
you. Astonishing.
Magnificent. Distant.
So close, but so very far away.
Really tall.
Are all these people going to Namche for the bazaar?
Yes, the people is going to Namche Bazaar. It is Friday.
Big party tonight, huh?
Yes, they open Friday also. Actually, the market is tomorrow, Saturday.
Our last campsite.
And it's a lovely one. It's got a vegetable garden, flowering fruit trees, running water, with a clampetish kind of cabin here. I think it's that.
Yeah.
It is the best.
He's bigger than he is.
Everyone was excited about our final day of trekking,
Are you
especially
excited?
our porters.
Okay, bye.
Ay.
Our arrival in Lukla was a time for celebration.
What do you say when you
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's just say cheers. Just like Americans. Cheers.
And thanks to the Chaco Shoe Company of Colorado, we were able to reward our hard-working porters with new trekking sandals.
You can tighten it around your foot.
यसो तान्नु मिल्छ हो यसो तानेर ठ्याक्कै मिलाउने अनि त्यसपछि यहाँ तानेर यसरी मिलाउने यहाँ हुन्छ खिप हुन्छ यसो तानेर मिलाउने अथवा ठुलो बनाउने सानो बनाउने है
And they've got vibram soles. You want some red
कुन
ones?
साइज मनपर्छ हेर छानेलाई जो साइज खुट्टोमा पनि हुनुपर्छ साइज त एउटै छाने हो साइज एउटै साइज जुन मनपर्छ त्यो भन्छु रङ साइज यहाँबाट टिपी हाल्दा
Wishbone.
Goes with his hat.
Yeah.
it's just interesting watching all these fresh people go by.
Knowing what they're in for.
Yeah. I have to say that there's a little envy, but not a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm glad I've been there, done that, and I'm glad to be on this return trip. It's fun, but it's also very difficult.
I agree with Nancy. It's fun. It's something that everybody should experience.
Well,
Almost everybody.
certain people I would
Yes.
choose not to have up here.
Right. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I'm going home.
To be honest with you, I hate it's over. I wish it lasted longer. I wish we could have made it to where we were going, but we didn't. And I will come back. I will.
This documentary is dedicated to the life of Aung Fury Sherpa, who died of tubercular meningitis on September 20th, 2001. He had been in the hospital for nearly all of the 6 months since he was carried away from Namche in March.